Welcome to an online demonstration of the Shop Marketplace enrollment process for small businesses on HealthCare.gov. This video will focus on the steps an employer will need to complete in order to offer their employees health and/or dental coverage through the Shop Marketplace on HealthCare.gov. We will walk you through how employers will log in, determine their eligibility, create a Shop Marketplace enrollment, upload an employee roster, and establish an offer of coverage for employees, all on HealthCare.gov. Employers will start by going to HealthCare.gov and logging into their account. If you're logging in for the first time, you would click the Login tab at the top of your HealthCare.gov screen and then select Create Account. Please note, employers are required to verify their identity by answering a few questions similar to what might be asked on a basic credit check before proceeding with the Shop Marketplace application and enrollment process. Employees will not be asked to complete this step. Once logged in, employers will be asked where they'd like to go. For Shop Marketplace coverage, employers should click Visit Employer Marketplace. The employer will then select the state in which they are seeking to provide coverage. Once the state has been selected, employers will be brought to the My Account page. Here, employers will have the option to authorize a Shop Marketplace registered health insurance agent or broker on their account by clicking on the Get Assistance tab at the top of the screen and select Find Agent Broker for a listing of Shop Marketplace registered agents and brokers in the area selected by the employer. Employers already working with an agent or broker can search for the agent or broker by name or national producer number, NPN, and authorize her or him to assist with their enrollment. For the purposes of this video, we are going to walk through the application and enrollment process as an employer without assistance from an agent or broker. On the My Account page, employers should select My Eligibility to begin the application process. All applicable information requested will have to be entered upon first visit. Once the information is entered, the employer will hit Create under the Action tab. Employers will then be brought to the first page of the application where they will be asked for basic business demographic information. Employers will also have to provide their Federal Employer Identification Number, EIN, and other billing and contact information for their business. On the next page, employers will be asked for more information. Please note that the business name, which was carried over from the previous page, is also the business name that will be displayed on the marketplace. Employers will also be asked to choose their preferred method of contact and their preferred spoken language. They'll also be asked to identify a primary contact that will be addressed on Shop Marketplace-related messages pertaining to the group's enrollment and billing. A secondary contact may also be added if preferred. Then, employers will be asked to verify their eligibility and attest to 3 statements. To attest to the statements, employers will complete and check the appropriate boxes and hit Continue. Next, employers will upload their employee roster. To complete the employee roster, employers will need each employee's legal first and last name, date of birth, and Social Security number. While not required, it's also important to include the employee's email address so they can be notified directly about their offer of coverage. The employee roster can be uploaded in 2 ways. The employer can either add the roster manually by selecting Add Employee to enter employee information one at a time, or select Blank Roster to download an Excel roster template. Complete the template and upload the completed Excel file roster. Employers will also be asked to designate an employee ID for every employee on the roster. They'll also be asked to note the date of hire, gender, phone number, preferred method of contact for the employee, as well as the mailing address. Dependent information can be added in one of 2 ways here. Employers can add the dependent or the employee can add the dependents as they go through the application. Up to 10 dependents can be added per employee. There is one more piece of essential information on this page, the Employee Participation Code. This code is used to associate the employee and applicable dependents with the employer. The participation code is emailed out to the employee once the roster has been uploaded. Employers will want to be sure to include the employee's email address on the roster so they can be notified of their offer of coverage. It is the employer's responsibility to notify employees of their offer of coverage. After all employee and applicable dependent information has been uploaded, employers will be asked to attest that all of the information provided is truthful. Employers will have to type their name to electronically sign and then click Continue. At this point, employers will either be determined eligible or ineligible to participate in the SHOP marketplace. If deemed eligible, they will receive a confirmation email. After the email has been received, the employer can log back into their account on HealthCare.gov and click Create Enrollment to continue with the application process. Employers will first be asked to set the enrollment period or the amount of time they wish to give their employees to either accept or waive their offer of coverage and choose a health plan. Employers have the option of a waiting period of 0, 15, 30, 45, or 60 days. Employers will also be able to select the coverage start date. Remember, the SHOP marketplace is open all year and employers can enroll at any time. For groups who submit their enrollment before the 15th of the month, their coverage can begin as soon as the first day of the next month. If a group submits an enrollment after the 15th of the month, their coverage will begin as soon as the first day of the next following month. Once the basic parameters for coverage are set, employers will get to decide how they'll offer coverage. If employee choice is available, employers will have two options when selecting their coverage offer. Option 1 is the ability to offer insurance coverage, all plans and all insurance companies across one metal level, bronze, silver, gold, or platinum. Plans in these categories differ based on how an enrollee and the plan share the costs of care. The categories have nothing to do with the amount or quality of care you get. Employers also have the option to offer one health plan and one dental plan, so every employee enrolls in the same plan. Once a coverage option is selected, the employer will be able to see plan prices and select a premium contribution level. With employee choice, employers have two options in setting their premium contributions. They can select a reference plan where they may select a percentage based on one plan and lock in a percentage contribution across all plans, or they can opt to do a fixed percentage contribution for any plan employees choose. Employers will also decide if they'll offer coverage for dependents and opposite and same-sex domestic partners. Employers can also select how much they would like to contribute to employee and dependent premiums as well as dental coverage. On the next page, employers will review and filter plans based in contribution amount, family deductible, cost per employee, etc. Employers have the ability to sort their options, to compare plans side by side, and find a more detailed description of the plan options. If employers opt to offer dental coverage, they will be brought to the dental plan selection page. Once a plan is selected and contribution costs are set, employers will click Save and Continue to proceed with enrollment. Employers will be able to review their application here. In the event an employer wants to edit any part of the application, they can do so by clicking the applicable edit buttons and jump right back to that page in the enrollment application. Once employers are satisfied with their offer of coverage, they will click Submit. A message will appear on the screen notifying the employer that their offer of coverage is complete. Their employees are now able to view, accept, or waive the offer of SHOP marketplace coverage. Please note, employers will need to log back into their HealthCare.gov account once employees have made their coverage determinations and submit their enrollment application. Employers will also be able to submit their initial premium payment once the application has been submitted. This concludes the Employer SHOP Marketplace application and enrollment video. For more information on how to enroll in SHOP Marketplace coverage, please contact the SHOP call center or visit HealthCare.gov.